What is up, folks? This is Andrew with MyWatchAddiction.com, and today we're going to take a look at a black Falcon from MTM Special Operations. This black Falcon is a tactical watch from MTM Special Ops that is currently on a watch tour. And I had the amazing opportunity to take a look at this watch with you guys. So that's what we're going to do. If you guys haven't seen my channel before and you want to follow us in the future and check out some of the cool shit we have coming in, down there in the right hand corner of the screen is that subscribe button. Go ahead and smash that, guys, so you can follow us in the future and be notified when I have new watches coming in to take a look at with you guys. The watch of the day for me is that Mark I from TDM Industries that you guys saw me review earlier on in the week. Absolutely loving this watch and really do not want to send this guy back. It's one of the problems with doing watch tours is you get to see some pretty amazing watches and share them with your viewers. However, you have to send them back. Not a huge fan of that part, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Anyway, guys, let's tear into this black Falcon. So let's tear into this watch, if I can get into it without trashing the box. Outer box, it's got the MTM Special Ops logos all over it. And then the inner box is a diver style case, which is actually pretty nice. If you look, it's not just a sticker applied to the top of this case. That's actually a raised logo, along with the Special Operations Watch or Special Ops Watch.com website, all raised. So the top of this lid was made specifically for this company. They obviously did not spare any expense with the manufacturing of the top of that. We open it up, we see inside, this is the black Falcon from MTM Special Ops. Now, interestingly enough, they had a previous version of this watch. This is the upgraded version. The previous version of this watch was actually known as the Black Hawk, the MTM Black Hawk. But there's a lot of really cool things about this watch that we'll take a look at. One thing that I noticed, and you guys probably noticed this watch on my wrist in the last video, the canvas strap on this watch, they have this thing sized perfectly. One thing that why I'm not a huge fan of NATO straps, which this one is because they tend to be too long. So what I end up doing is, like you can see on this TDM Industries one, I typically end up folding over the extra, which of course I'm not going to be able to get out right now and show you guys, but I end up folding over the extra into that extra catch so it's not hanging over. With this watch, the length on this NATO strap, perfect length. This looks to be a 24 millimeter strap that's on this guy. I really appreciate the strap design on this one. Let's see what else we have here in the box. So we have our Special Ops warranty card. Throw that back in there. Then we have an instruction booklet, which tells a little bit about the watch. One thing that's kind of interesting is we also have this. So let's open this up and see what this is, because this is one of the things that I think is really cool about this black Falcon from MTM Special Ops. This is actually a charging stand. So you can see right there, charging stand, power goes right into the port right there, and then the watch literally sits on top just like that. Now, you might ask yourself, why do you need a charging stand? Well, this watch uses a proprietary quartz movement from MTM with an embedded charging system. So this watch actually uses inductive charging, very similar to an Apple iWatch or a Samsung phone or the iPhone X. The inductive charging is what is used to actually charge the power system within this watch. Now, one of the reasons that they did that on this watch is because this watch has a little bit of technology in it that has the potential to use up battery life if you're using the functionality quite a bit. So they didn't want their watch owners to actually have to go through and replace batteries all the time. So that's why they built that technology right into the watch. So before I talk about the technology a little bit, let's just take a little bit of a walk around this watch. Now this Falcon model is actually available in either stainless steel or titanium cases. The titanium cases are pretty sharp on these two, and they're definitely going to help with the weight on this watch. This is a heavier watch, but if we take a walk around it, we'll get into sizes in just a second. This does have a carbon fiber inlaid 120 click rotating bezel, carbon fiber dial, along with applied indices right there for the hour hands. Now if we switch over to the side, you might be able to appreciate this. The lugs themselves, as well as the crowns, they are all almost an Allen wrench type approach. Pretty hefty bars on this, not just simple spring bars, which a lot of that adds to the durability and strength of this tactical watch. So if we want to talk about the size of this watch real quick, let's measure this guy. Lug to lug, we are rocking out at 53 millimeters lug to lug with a diameter of 45 millimeters. So it is a bigger watch. Just check the inside here, and yeah, I was right, 24 millimeters on that strap. We look at the case thickness, we're looking at about 15 and a half, give or take, almost 16 millimeters thick. So it is a big watch. It's a very hefty watch that is definitely going to sit substantially on your wrist. So people with small wrists just might want to be cognizant of that. But one thing that I'm going to point out is this pusher that's up here, which incidentally has a screw down guard. This pusher that's up here at the 2 o'clock can make this watch do some really cool things. And I'm going to get some better shots of this later. So if you missed this right now, don't worry about it too much. But if you push the pusher once, this watch actually has a 2-light system. So if you notice, you push the pusher once, and that's going to give us, for 5 seconds, it's going to give us a blue glow to that dial, and that's going to help with low light visibility. If we push it again, that is actually going to illuminate those 3 high-intensity LED lights, which from a tactical or field watch standpoint is kind of pretty cool, because if you say you're walking around and you don't have a flashlight, just use your watch. I'll get some pictures later to show you exactly how strong these are, but these are pretty bright and pretty impressive. Then if we go again, we can go back to the blue. There is also a strobe function to these. Let's cycle through those to shut them off. This is a screw down pusher, so as I screw it back down, you can't push this guy back down, so you're not accidentally turning on those LED lights. Now, LED, although they are typically extremely energy efficient in general, when it comes to the batteries in watches, there's just not enough capacity a lot of times in a watch battery to be able to power those for a significant amount of time. And you're absolutely going to use the battery in this watch when you're using those LEDs. So that's why they took the ingenious approach, in my opinion, of making this a rechargeable watch and having the recharging system right there. Very similar to an Eco Drive or a Citizen Eco Drive. When the battery functionality drops or when the battery is extremely low, that second hand is going to switch from a 1 second click to a 2 second click, identifying that the fact that the battery is pretty low and you should get it on the charger. The glass on this watch is sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. So as I mentioned previously, this is a rechargeable quartz watch with a recharging system built into the watch. It does use inductive charging, so this is the charging stand. You can see I have it plugged into power here. You can see that green LED signifying power to the inductive charger. If we throw this watch on, you'll notice the behavior of the watch changes. And you can see right there, you'd see those LEDs flash. That's letting you know that this watch is inductively charging now. So I just thought that was a really, really cool piece of technology that's wrapped into this tactical watch. So that was the Black Falcon from MTM Special Ops. Really, really cool watch. I think it's one of those watches that if you're a gadget guy, and like I tend to be a lot of times, and appreciate technology built into devices that you wouldn't necessarily normally see them, I think it's a really cool concept, really cool design. I love the weight, the fit and finish seems on point on this, and then of course that inductive charging is a really, really cool addition to a quartz watch, one that I have not seen before other than on a smartwatch or a hybrid smartwatch. So I'm really, really thinking this is a cool one. I'll leave a link in the description below if you guys want to learn more about this Black Falcon from MTM Special Ops, but definitely check them out if you're interested. This guy will be on my wrist for a couple days likely, and then will be headed on its way home. So I'm excited to at least be able to spend a little bit of time with this watch. If you guys want to see this watch on my wrist or any other watch that I'm wearing on a daily basis, don't forget to follow us at Instagram /watchaddiction.us. Thank you guys and have a great week.